it's Paul here. Welcome to AF Boxing, where we're building champions since 1922. So, you're out on the internet looking for videos to improve your boxing, in this case especially your footwork. Then I'm sure you come across all of these drills, these ladder drills, where you have a ladder just like this, and then you're doing exercises something along like, and you have all these strength and conditioning coaches that give you advice on how to do them. Well, unfortunately, these strength and conditioning coaches doesn't really know boxing that well, and these ladder drills are in general for other sports like tennis and basketball, where you're moving in a completely different way than boxing. See, in other sports, what you do is you step across your own leg, so you can run, you can step fast in that way, and therefore doing all of these drills is very effective. But for boxing, we move in a completely different way. See, in boxing, when we're standing like this, if I'm moving forward, I'm moving with my front leg first. If I'm moving backward, I'm moving with my back foot first. To my left, and I move with my left foot first, and so on. Therefore, all of these ladder drills, they are really not working for boxing, because you're doing completely different moves. You can see they're doing moves like this. And these are all moves that you don't want to do in boxing, because in boxing, you don't want to step with your legs together to get in closer. You want to move sideways like this. Therefore, most of the ladder drills you'll find on the internet are pretty useless for boxing. Therefore, I will show you a couple of good ladder drills that will improve your boxing footwork, and also how you can build your own ladder drills to improve whatever aspect of boxing you want to train. So, let me start by explaining to you how boxing footwork works, how you step in boxing in comparison to other sports. See, in boxing, whatever direction I want to move, that foot which is in that direction moves first. So if I move forward or to the left, it's my left foot first if I'm standing orthodox. If I'm moving to my right or backwards, it's my right foot. And the most important part about boxing is that you, as quickly as possible, want to end up in your correct stance. You don't have one foot hanging. That means if you have one foot in the air, you can't really throw punches, slip punches or duck. All you can pretty much do is stand there as a target. So, let me show you the basic boxing steps, so you can just start by learning how to move in boxing. So, if you, for example, stand like this, your front foot is in the ladder, and then you got your right foot right outside, because you don't want to stand in a line, because if you stand in a line, that means you will have to punch around your own hip. It's not going to be very comfortable. It's not a good way to throw your punches. You want the right foot out here so you can throw that punch. And then from this position, just move forward and backward using that foot, this foot, to end up in the next position. So you end up in the correct position in this step and that step and that step and so on. So let me show you how to do that. From this position, you just move your front foot, boom, and you follow with this one right away. You don't want to go and then slowly come back with this one. You want this one as fast as possible to get into position. Just like this, very simple. It's not a very complicated movement, but it's very unnatural. See, in your life, if you're moving forward, the natural way to do is to step across like this. In boxing, it's the other way around, and therefore you need to practice this, that this instinct of yours, how to move, changes, that whenever you want to move forward, you move with this foot first. And then you do the same thing backwards with your front foot in the ladder and your back foot right outside, like this, so that you can see the ladder the whole time, so your step ends up in the right position. Do this the whole time with your guard up and in good positions, that you right away can throw punches. And what you can do also is to throw when you get comfortable with it, you can throw a punch in between every step. Or left hook, or throw a jab when you step. Anything works. You can build up your own exercise here to improve all parts of your boxing. Another ladder drill that is really good in order for you to move back and forth. You stand in the ladder just like this, but instead of doing like we did before, take one step, one step, one step, you take 2 steps in one step and then 1 backwards. So you do something like this. 2 step forward, 1 step back. 2 step forward, 1 step back. And then you go all the way to the end. And then you do the same thing backwards. 2 steps, 1 step forward. 2 steps, 1 step forward. And just like before, you want to keep your guard up tight. And once you get comfortable, you can start to add punches. Boom, boom. And so on. Mix this up with for yourself. And in that way, you can work on whatever aspect of boxing you want to train. Now for some drills to work on your lateral movement. And if you start just like this, front foot in the ladder, and then you just step sideways and then the other way, just like this. See, when I'm moving to the right, I'm moving with my right foot first. And then go to the left. Now, this looks simple, but once you start doing them, you will realize that they're pretty exhausting. They're taxing on your core. You want to end up in good position the whole time. So it's actually not as easy as it looks. And then, once you're comfortable, you can start throwing punches. And so on. So, I've seen a lot of these drills, these ladder drills, where they want you to train on lateral movement, which is very important in boxing. However, they usually show you something along like this, where you drag your foot towards the other foot and then change place on them. This is unfortunately not how you want to move in boxing. So these exercises will pretty much only give you bad habits. What I would recommend you to do instead for lateral movement is just to start like this. Sideways, sideways, forward, sideways, sideways, forward, sideways, sideways, forward. And just keep going like this. And then when you're at the end of the ladder, you do the same drill backwards so that you get comfortable moving this way. Because it's very unnatural to move in boxing or to move with your feet in this way that you're supposed to do in boxing. It doesn't come naturally. So you need to drill this over and over. It's a great exercise for you to work on your lateral movement, but also to get comfortable with placing your feet. You stand like this, and then you take a step out and follow with the back foot into this one. And then you step sideways this way, so you end up with your foot in this position. And then you do the same way, the other way around. And so on. Another great exercise for you to do, you start like this, and then from this position, step sideways here, in. Sideways, in. And then the same way, the other way. And when you do all these exercises, you want to try to be as relaxed as possible, but keep your core a little flexed so that you don't get wobbly up here. These exercises that I've shown you now, you can do them in very different way. The way I've shown you now is very basic, but you can also do them if you take the 2 step forward, 1 step back. You can do it sort of in a bouncing way. So that you can add speed, you can add faster side steps here. And so on. So make sure, form these exercises a bit for yourself. See what works best for you and don't rush. Boxing footwork takes time, so you need to practice, drill, over and over and over. And once you get comfortable with these fundamentals, you can start to play with them. Now that I've shown you a couple of exercises that you should do to improve your boxing footwork, I can just show you quickly some of the exercises you don't want to do for boxing that will only add bad habits to your footwork. So, any exercise where you drag your feet together, these exercises, they are completely useless. Or the dance move that I've seen. They are super simple, so they're pretty fun to do, but they're completely useless to do in order for you to improve your boxing footwork. Same thing with the side step. You don't need to do all these exercises. They look fun. If you want to do them, you can do them. Like, it's a good warm-up. But that's it. It doesn't improve your footwork for boxing. And they're pretty much only adding bad habits to boxing. Continue to do all of these movements, then eventually you'll come really fast with your feet while we're always in good position. So we can always move our head, and so on. Just like we do in a fight, and you'll always be in good position to land punches, slip punches, and so on. So if you like this video and you like these exercises that I've shown you, make sure to subscribe to our channel, like this video, maybe you want to share it to help us grow, and there'll be a lot more content just like this where I go through the boxing fundamentals and drills on how to improve all of these little fundamental details.